out a little bit. I've sketched out just a little football, some uprights, and we're gonna split that field. But I was thinking about adding like something that looked like people in the background, but today is not the day. Today's not the day for all that. So I'm gonna just make a little tick mark, like right here with my little pencil, and I'll scoot it over and we'll do it right here. I'm just gonna mark that with my pencil. You can see I started sketching on my canvas first, and then I was like, why are you doing that? It's gonna be hard to cover up. So we're gonna do green on the bottom, and then on the upper portion, we are gonna do green and a little white. You can just make it whatever color you want. You can make it the sky, all that stuff, whatever you want to do. But let me find something I can make a line with. Let me make a line. Well, I'm gonna just use this to line up. You could use tape, but I'm just gonna make myself a very pale, little tiny sketch line. And we're gonna get started painting. All right, I got my little dirty tray. I'm gonna scoot over this way a little so we can see everything. We're gonna start with our background. For our background, little piece, that would be awesome. Little background, holly green, which is very green, but it's the closest thing I had, roll tide, Kathy. Closest thing I had to like, that's what I need to do, Wendy, but everything would be an emergency then. I'll be like, I think I'm gonna drink my emergency wine, and then I wouldn't have any. I would just buy a case. So I'm gonna put some of this green on my canvas, and I'm gonna also add some white. Oh, I'm sorry, this is, I don't even know, it was in my stash. I think it's an 8x8, and it is. Sorry about that. Let me write that on something that we can see. You know what I'm gonna do? Let's do this. We can wipe this right off. 8x8. Can y'all, oh, you can't even see that. Woman. Okay, we're gonna write it over here. 8x8. Ha 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 ha. Because I can use my alcohol wipes and get that right off. Yes, I can. Smart thinking. Okay, so white and green. And we're gonna add a little bit of white down here to this green too, because it's a little bold. It's a little strong. And we're going to get started. Because this is what will calm my nerves, y'all. This is what's gonna calm me down a little bit. Maybe make me not be violent. All right, so here we go. Yeah, exactly, just right on it. So I'm gonna take my little green, and this is, I don't remember if I said it, holly green. And we are going to paint, woo, that's strong, isn't it? We're gonna paint our football field. Oh, see, I'm like, my hands are like shaking. So it's gonna be a little hard for me to get a straight line, but we're gonna make it happen. If it's not perfect, it'll be fine. It'll be fine, right? It's fine, everything's fine. I'm fine, it's fine, everything's fine. Everything is beautiful. Okay, that's close enough. So let's get that covered, and then we're gonna throw in a little bit of white with it, just so it's not solid. Actually, this is gonna need 2 coats, I can tell already. So yeah, that's artificial for sure, isn't it? So I'm gonna get this green on, and then we'll hit it with our dryer real quick, and then we'll do another coat with a little bit of white added in. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Calm your nerves, Cindy Lou. Cool your jets. That's what my mom would say. Cool your jets. So let's get that dry. Dry. Oh, cool. Oh, Lord. Colonoscopy prep, that is the worst, in my opinion. The very worst. The very worst. Well, I'll tell you what, Trudy. I had a little chat with my... Could y'all hear that? Could y'all hear that? I'm just curious if you could hear my phone ring. Did it stop videoing when it rang, or did it ring and you didn't hear it? So, I don't know. Okay. Yes. I'm going to add a little more green. He knows I'm live, too. That was Steven. Probably checking. Did it cut out? That's because my phone was ringing, and that's probably why it paused. And it was Steve, knowing full well I'm on a live, and he is probably thinking, I wonder if she even went live because she's so mad. He got my back, though. Good to be engaged to an attorney and someone who also can calm your jets, right? Calm the jets. Yeah, that's what it was. It was because my phone was ringing. All right, we're adding a second coat of green to our field. This green is really strong. I'm gonna grab up just a little bit of white, not much, just a little, just to kind of, I'm gonna mix it in with that pile of green right there. That might have been excessive. Just to kind of, give it some dimension. That field's wore out there, isn't it? That'll be all right, because we got a football going there too. All right, I think that's good. So while we have all that green, let me add a little bit more. Yeah, he's a pilot, a firefighter, and an attorney. Because he puts out my fires too. All right, let's do the upper portion. I'm just gonna use the same green and just blend in a little bit of white. Ugh. Yep. It kind of looks minty now, doesn't it? Yeah. Y'all, I'm sorry. You just don't know. I wish I could tell you, but I can't. Cause it might be a legal thing. So. All right, I'm gonna try to get as close as I can. And we will get that line. Ooh, Lord. Lordy mercy. All right. Messed up a little bit over here, but we're going to leave it. All right. All right. A little bit of that. I'm going to rinse some of this green. That's okay. I've been shouting for 10 minutes. I wish we could, because y'all would love it. Hey is the man. I'm going to rinse some of that green out, and I'm going to grab just a smidge of white and just kind of, well, maybe a smidge more, and just give ourselves some, movement at the top as well. Oh, Lord have mercy. I feel like I should like do something like this to give it movement like they're people. I'm just gonna give it a try and see what happens. So I've got a little color on the back of my paintbrush, just dipping it in the green and the white. And we're just gonna give it a little bit of movement up top, just by tapping, just so it looks like there's some action going on back there. A little action. A little green, a little white. Get a little action, a little action. All right, we're gonna hit this with our dryer. Voila. You got married when you were 12? What? Okay, let me dry this, guys. I'm getting distracted. I was not an art major in college, Terry. I actually was in accounting. The better part of my 20s and 30s, I was in accounting. I did do a lot of art, and I did a lot of like little craft fairs and stuff because I've always been artsy, but I hated accounting so bad. So bad. Oh, okay, Mary, sorry. Thank you, Jean. So we'll get that dry. I got a little wet spot up here. I think it's water. Little something going on there. We'll let this cool a minute. She's been married. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're making a funny about being married 44 years. Gotcha. See, my brain ain't working that great right now, is it? Joan is an accountant. See, that was not fun for me. It just was not fun. Not a fun thing. All right, so now what we're going to do is I am going to get my tracer. So we have some uprights. I'm really going to just barely trace that because we are going to use some glass strips that I found. These are all broken. So when we get broken strips, they put them in a box like by color. And so these were all broken, or, you know, ones that I just didn't feel like I could sell because of the way they were broken. Probably some I tried to cut myself, but we're going to use these brown glass strips. Yes, retired would be the most favorite thing. I'm a stay-at-home crafter. I love that. So we're going to use glass strips for our uprights, and then we're going to paint our football and some white lines on the field. And we probably will add a little glass to our football as well, just for balance. Jill does taxes. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's grab, I want to set this straight. And I'm going to grab a little bit of tape and tape this sucker down. It's 1, 2 pieces, kind of like a book. So we'll put a little piece here. And a little piece here. And let me grab my, I can tell I was ill prepared today because I don't even have my graphite paper ready or nothing. All right, so I'm gonna just slip this under real quick and do a very light line for my uprights, just one little light line. Hopefully I can make it straight. I used a ruler when I did my tracer. So we'll make, and we're gonna use glass on this little part. And I'm gonna tuck this in a little more, and we'll get our little football. Hey Lou, bye Lou. Thank you, Karen. All right, so I need to put my hand on something. I'm gonna use this. All right, so let's trace out our football. This canvas feels a little wonky, like it's sinking in the middle a little. I should have spritzed it, but I didn't. So we're gonna work with it. It's gonna be mine. It's gonna say Bama, so it'll be mine, so it'll be all right. So I'm actually going to paint the football completely brown, and then I'll come back in and retrace the threads on the football. That way I don't have to paint around it. All right, I'm gonna make my little white line on this side, boom, and on this side, boom, and we'll make a little line here. We'll use our Posca pen to make these lines. And then we'll have little lines here too, which is like the yard lines. So, that's funny right there. All right, so let me save that for my peeps. And I think we'll start with brown. And let me put that away. I am going to use, this is called espresso. So it's kind of a chocolatey brown. Hopefully it's brown enough. We'll see. We'll put a coat on. If it's not, we'll throw a little umber on it. All right, that looks football-y. That looks football-y, don't it? Let me find an appropriate sized brush. I'm just gonna use like a 1/4 inch flat, and we're gonna fill in our football. All right, I'm gonna avoid the white lines. So let's just fill it in very carefully, staying within my lines. Oh, paint booger. Paint booger. Because y'all know I'm shaking now, right? Shaking, shaking. Whew. Goodness gracious. Okay. Right up on top of my tracer line, so I don't have to worry about that. And I'm going to do this other end as well so I can move faster on the middle. All right, now we can just get this centerpiece done. Let me just go ahead and hit that where the white's gonna be. That's probably gonna take 100 coats over that green. That'll be all right. More time for me to chill, right? More time for chilling. Mm-hmm. All right, you think this is brown enough? I think it's brown enough, don't you? For football. It looks a little browner on video than it actually is, I'm noticing. So I think it'll be all right. We may throw in a little bit of umber, because y'all know I hate painting something one solid color. It looks good? Yeah, good. Ooh. All right, I am going to hit this real quick. Actually, I'm gonna grab a liner brush and just do a little bit of brown on my uprights. I'm gonna turn it this way. So we'll do just a quick line, just for guidance for our uprights. And then we'll do, oh, my hands are shaking, y'all. There ain't no way I'm drawing a straight line today. And that's all right. We're gonna cover it with glass strips, so it'll be fine. I need this back. Whew. I hope it is. I hope he's bringing it. I think it's a margarita kind of day myself. All right, there's our uprights. Let's do a little bit of action here. And then we'll do where it's thicker. I think that is where the padding is, right? It probably should be a different color, but we're going with brown. We're going with brown. All right, while that's still wet, I'm gonna grab a little bit of this white on my brush and kind of blend it in with my brown. And just hit a little bit here and there. Glass is probably gonna cover most of that up, but y'all know me. I like to pretend it's not. All right, now, I know where Dixon is. All right, let's get the football dried and do a second coat. Good enough. Let it cool a second while I have a sip of my soda pop. Yeah, Laura, it's tough. Especially today. All right, I think that's cooled off enough, so I think I'm going to do a quick second coat on the brown. Let me see if I can just use a little white there we go. Just use a little white in it so it makes it a little dimensional. Since we have it on the table. Let's grab a tiny bit of white here too. Just throw that in. Now let's do the middle. I'm going to try to go fast so I can add some white to this too. And maybe I'll just get about halfway and throw some white on top. I may or may not hear Mr. McCord. Oh, yeah. Oh. Hang on, I gotta go to the door. I gotta go to the door. We got visitors. We got visitors. Girl, wait till I tell you. Sorry about that, guys. I had a visitor without a key. All right, so let's get this other. Oh no, I got a little dot of brown right there. I'll get that off with a wipey in just a second. I don't want my stuff to dry. Girl, you just don't know. All right, let's get the brown. Let's grab a little bit of white and just throw it in. Just to give our little football some dimension. All right, while I'm waiting on that to dry, I'm gonna get that little dot off. I'm gonna use my little wipes. I'm gonna get my little boo-boo off where I made a mistake. I made a little drip. Fixed, all fixed. All right, now let's rinse that because we gotta do, I'm gonna grab another brush because I got to do white here, and that's probably going to take 472 coats. Oh, it wasn't hey, sorry guys. It was not Hey Hey, it was somebody else. It was Julie Joyce to the rescue. All right, so let's get some whites. Oh, this brush needs to be in the trash. That was terrible. Let me find a decent brush. I know I got some. No, I do. There's one. All right, back to the white. All right, let's get this side. This is so tedious, especially when you're, number one, when you have a little arthritis, and number two, when you got a little in you too. I have backup now, though. Did you bring me a drink? Is that a margarita? Look. Julie brought me a margarita. Oh, look what she brought me. We'll introduce everybody to Julie Joyce when we're done. Mm-hmm. Is that not awesome? Now that's a friend. That, I swear, I thought it was Hey Hey knocking on the window. I thought Hey Hey was here. Oh my goodness. Oh, I gotta hold my mouth right. Get that little piece done. We're gonna get it dry and hit it again. And then we're gonna get this dry, and then we will also trace on our thread so we can do that all at the same time. Now everybody's jealous. Oh, it does need a straw, don't it? There's some black straws back there somewhere. Oh, look. Hey. I got a straw. That was from lunch. This is called Daly's frozen margarita. So you buy them like this and you put them in your freezer, and then you just squeeze them out. You cut the top off and squeeze them out. It's got margarita in it too. It's the real deal. That's right. It's a perfect amount. Mm-hmm. We'll put that right there and share it. All right. So before I do that second coat, I'm gonna add my threads back. All right. So let's put this back down and tape. Girl. I'm trying to find my stylish, y'all. Let's do our little threads. Okay, so let's just draw this line. I gotta be a little dark. I wanna make sure I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. And then we'll do this one. I think that was supposed to go all the way to the end. I didn't draw that good. And then we'll do our little white threads. Little white threads. And guys, I got the shape of this football off of a coloring book page. So if you go on Pinterest and just put free football printable, it's like a coloring book page, and you can just trace it right off. Because I tried to draw a football 72 times. I was like, this don't look like a football. It was not working out. All right, so let's add, I'm gonna work this way. So we'll do a second coat on this part. Ooh. And this brush is hairy too. It's got strays. Then I probably should get a little bit of a smaller brush, but we're going for it. I'm gonna do just that line, and then we'll do the stitching. I should have done that with the Posca. I would have tried faster and been so much easier, but so be it. Tis what it is. This is going to be a keeper anyway. I'll either keep it for myself or give it to my sister, who is also an Alabama fan. I'm going to come this way, add a little more oomph. And, whew. Sometimes it's hard to paint when you got steam coming out of your ears. No, I don't think that's going to help me. Okay, so go Crystal Light. All you needed was a little bit of vodka in that, Jill. Okay, and you, Jill? That's good to know. All right, I'm going to hit this with my heat gun and get it dry so that when I draw my field lines, I don't smear my football. Well, hello, Marie from Stone Harbor. Woo. All right, I think that's good enough. Get up that cool while I'll look for my white pen. Where it be? Here it be. That might be too thick. We're gonna go for it. So what I'm gonna use to draw the lines on my field is a white Posca, and this is the regular one. It is the 1.8 fat tip Posca pen. So we're gonna use that, and I'm gonna do a little test right here on my test thingy to make sure it's good. And I am going to hold my breath. Let's put this back over here. I'm gonna hold my breath and hope I don't make a mess of this. I'm just gonna do my best. So here, woo! Not bad. Not bad at all. I need a little more ink though. We'll do this one. Boom. Boom. And we'll do one more right here. Now we gotta do our little ticks. We're gonna do, actually I'm gonna do a little bit here too, just divided. All right, so we'll do like one. I know there's probably more than this, but we're not trying to be terribly fancy here, right? We'll do them here too. We're running out of space. Yeah, we're not doing Picasso, so it'll be all right. All right. They're a little crooked, but they'll be fine, right? All right. I'm gonna, yes, we'll definitely blame it on the margarita. So I'm gonna grab my black Posca, the fine point Posca, and do a little bit of outlining. So this one is the 0.7 millimeter. It's got a smaller tip. Can you see that? It's got a little bit smaller tip, and it makes a little bit of a finer line. And I'm just gonna give my uprights a little something. Whoop. And come back across with our black, jazz it up a little, and let's do the same to our football. Just short, I like just short strokes, so it's not terribly fancy, not going for realism here. And we'll do the same here. Short, short, quick, just to make it pop. Boom. Okay, now that looks pretty good, except it's missing something. It's missing something, isn't it? What could it be missing? Oh, I know. Roll Tide. I'm gonna take that little booger down and trace over it. I'm gonna straighten it up just a little. So you can put whatever team name you like. Don't be hating on mine. I ain't hating on yours. We're gonna add a little Roll Tide to the day. Roll. Tide. Now we'll fancy it up. Somebody said blah, blah, blah. We'll fancy it up with our little marker. Roll. Let's add some ticks. Oh. We have a tick here too. L. Tick, tick. L. Tick, tick. What in the world is funny? Tick, tick. Somebody making a funny, or are you just being silly?
No. Somebody said again she's trying to get drunk, so no Picasso.
Right. That's right. Don't mess with me today. Don't mess with me today. All right, so put your team up there in the, that's somebody holding a sign. See all those fans in the background? They're holding the sign. I should have painted my background maroon and white, like dots. I should have. That would have been cool. I'm way past all that now. I'm way past it. Okay, so what can we do now? I think we're ready to do some glass and resin. I need to kind of go through here. Like I said, these were some, these look like some that I cut, and they're all broken and could not cut straight and raggedy. So we're gonna come in here, and I'm looking for kind of maybe one that's a little skinny. I may try to cut, that one looks nice, don't it? See, they're kind of brown, ambery looking. I don't really need a huge one. That one looks great for right there. It's a little long, but I think we'll use it. I'm gonna try, look, don't hold me to it. I'm gonna try, where are my tools? I'm gonna try to cut a strip. They're super hard to cut or to score when they're this skinny already, but let's give it a whirl. What do you say? All right, so let me find one that I feel like is good. Maybe this one. And here we go. Who knows what's gonna happen? I'm gonna go right up the middle. We'll see what happens. It may be a hot mess. Let me find my top of the line nippers, or breaking pliers. So these are the fancy ones. And let's see if that worked. Oh, don't. Oh, no, it didn't work. Hang on. It's too skinny. It's really hard to score and cut. Well, look, that might work. We'll just do this. I got glass everywhere now. That's not sitting right. So this one needs to be, let's say, that long. So I'm just gonna nip it right there. We got that piece. Now this one, this one's a hot mess, but we're going for the gusto. Right there. All right, I'm gonna get my little handy dandy stone, and off camera so I don't get little nips of glass everywhere. I'm just honing the edges. I don't want it in my drink. Just gonna smooth out those edges so that we don't cut ourselves, right? Especially cutting yourself on camera, not super cool. All right, now I think we need, I don't know how we're gonna do that. We're just gonna leave it at the uprights. We'll move this over. We'll have the girls clean that up later. I love it when I make a mess on my table so that they can clean it up. Totally love it. All right, let's get this. We don't want these little tiny nips. I should have got my little cutting board. We don't want those in our hands, so let's grab glue. And I'm just gonna run a tiny bit of glue on my uprights just to hold this glass in place while we get ready to resin or rumble, whichever comes first. So we'll sit this one here and this one here and this hot mess of a stick here. All right, let me scooch that over. That's kind of not in the right place as well as this one. This one wants to fall over. So I'm just gonna set this here for 1 second and let it sit to try to hold that in place while I grab, here's what I think I'm gonna do. I was thinking about using bronze, but since we have the white on our football as well, I'm just gonna use some Starfire because then you'll be able to see the football completely through the glass. So I'm just gonna get a little handful, not much, just a tiny little handful, and we'll add a little glass to our football because, you know, we're glass artists, right? You can't just make something without glass. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, right, Joyce? Right. It is Joyce, right? Joyce was on the run. Ooh, Lord. Okay. So we'll just add a few little pieces. I don't want it to be a perfect shape, so we'll leave it kind of raggedy like that. Tiniest piece of glass. I know, those are the worst. Those are the worst. A tiny piece fit on the post. Maybe. Let me see what I got here. This one might work better and I'll be able to nip it a little. I think I'm just gonna leave it there like that. Can you see it? It's a little off and it covers up our painting, but I don't care. It's fine. All right, so it's very green, Jill, thank you. I'm gonna set this over and let that glue set for a few minutes. Yeah, wouldn't it have been cool if we had like major splattered some color like somebody suggested at the top? The color for your team, do that, okay? I've already painted my goalposts, so I don't want to be worrying about all that. But do that before you write your team name and give yourself an audience. Everybody, football, it's football. Like, there's audiences, right? Okay, let's make some resin. I literally think we can do this whole thing with ½ ounce. So I'm gonna get a baby cup. And we're gonna mix a ½ ounce. Let me look at the cup that says ½ ounce. Maybe not. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm gonna mix, it's either a half or a whole. That's way too much. Dadgummit, it's hard to see on that cup. It's making my eyes angry. All right, so let's go here. Thank you, Catherine. So we could do, I really want 1.5 ounces. So that is, no, I don't want 1.5 ounces. I want like 3/4 ounce. That's too hard to do. We'll just do 1 ounce. We'll do a half and a 1. I'm going to use the bigger cup. So I'll do a ½ ounce and then a 1 ounce. And then if we have left over, maybe Julie can resin something. No, I almost said something completely inappropriate. Taking it to the limit, yeah. Getting a little crazy. Let me grab my gloves, guys.
Maybe margarine wasn't a good idea.
Alcohol and anger.
It was an emergency.
It was. That's okay. We're gonna have a sip before I put my gloves on. Darn, that's good. Woo! All right, let's get our gloves on. And we'll squeeze out some hardener. Boom. Boom. Hardener. Art resin, almost said art shattered. Let's do resin. I love these squirt bottles. I don't know what I ever did without them. All right, Catherine, you ready? Oh my gosh, I wish y'all were too. We would have, woo, there'd be some tea spilled. We'd be spilling some tea. Actually, Rita, I'm not. It's some green coffee. We're going to mix this for 3 minutes, just like normal. Catherine's timing me, just like normal. So if anybody has any questions while we mix away, I'm happy to answer your questions. There's Mr. Gray. It's Jenna Joyce.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Does he have a beer and a Coke in his hand? Barbara, I think the size canvas is a personal choice. All right. So you could use whatever you like. If it's going to be a small canvas that's like a shelf sitter, I would use the thicker ones. But really, anything that's going to be hung, you could, it's up to you. Well, I'm pretty sure that's got some tequila in it. It's a margarita. Frozen green coffee. That is right.
That's a mama coffee.
Oh, Margaret, see, I wasn't going to say that out loud, but you get me, girl. You get me. Margaret said you need to use that leftover resin on somebody's mouth. You get me, girl. Jill said, I can't wait till December. Is it BYOB? Yeah, well, we are going to have the first night of our meet and greet. We're going to have some libations for you guys, but other than that, yeah, it would be. My margarita matches the project, they said. Yeah, see, I don't drink beer, Brenda, but, oh, what was that? I don't drink beer. I have never had a beer in my entire life. I don't like the way they smell, and if it smells gross, then I'm not putting it in my mouth, so. Oh, that's right. Frozen green coffee is the only kind of coffee I like, too. I'm drinking a margarita. So we called it frozen green coffee. So Catherine, yell at me if I'm not serving. It's been a day, hasn't it, Boo?
It has been a day.
Best part of my day was loving on that baby. So I have to tell y'all a quick story till Catherine stops me. So I had the baby today at my son's house, and Steve came over because I forgot something. So he came and brought it to me. And Mila literally stopped. She was like making all kinds of screechy noises. And when he came in, she literally stopped. And you were there, what, maybe 10 minutes? She never took her eyes off of him. She stared a hole right through him. I was like, what is happening? Is it because you're so pretty? He thinks it's because he's so pretty. Thank you for the sprinkles, Elaine. Oh, I think that was probably it, too. Maybe she was trying to figure out what all that scruff was. She was like, he looks familiar, but that's so scruffly. Because he was scruffly. Y'all, look how dark my arm is. Holy moly, am I that tan? Isn't that sweet? That's all Indian blood. Yeah, she was just staring at him with her, just sucking on her little passy. It was so sweet. It was so sweet. I feel like I've been stirring this for 17 minutes, Catherine. She said, somebody tell her time. Did you say time like 47 times and I just kept stirring? Okay, here we go. Let's bring this back into the picture. Let's take that off. Got a little debris. That looks pretty cute, don't it? 5 times? Catherine said she told me it was time 5 times. I'm sorry. I'm a little distracted.
That's the Rita talking.
Oh, Lord. No, it ain't. It ain't the Rita. It's something else. All right, so we're going to start with our glass just like normal. And once we get the resin on the glass, if you're new here, give me a heart right now. I want to see who's new because I'm probably owe y'all an apology. If you're new, if this is your first time, let me know so I can just tell you I'm sorry for my antics today. Oh Lord, I'm sorry, y'all. If you're new here, this is not always how it works. I'm usually a little more professional, maybe just a little. I don't know. Today was not the day, and I was not the one. Not the day. All right, got that covered. So once you cover that clear glass with resin, it kind of makes it clear so you can see that football through here. Mary said, if you're new here, we're so sorry. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, we usually act a little better. It's just one of those days. One of those days. All right, I'm going to make sure and get Jill said, are we really? Maybe not. Maybe I'm kidding myself. I'm gonna cover these uprights, these glass strips really nicely so that one, they stay in place, and two, it softens the glass a little. Even though we honed it, it still might have a little sharpness to it, all right? So now I'm just gonna dump, all right? And I haven't finished yet, obviously, but we still have, I probably could have done half the resin I did, but it's okay. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. I might need a little more on the flat surface anyway. So I'm just gonna spread this resin out. And cover my entire top surface with the resin. And we'll move over. They're over here whispering like I can't hear them. I'm ready to be done. All right. I'm gonna do this edge, then we gotta do between the uprights. How y'all doing over there? Joyce may or may not be a bad influence. Julie Joyce. Yeah, it's Joyce because Julie's a good influence. Joyce, not so much.
Joyce to the rescue.
That's right.
I do know I can make it down here in less than 10 minutes.
You sure can, girl. That was fast. I thought it was hey. So there we have it, and I used just under a half an ounce of resin. So keep that in mind. Have something, either just mix a half an ounce, maybe they are. Just mix a half an ounce or have something else you can use that resin on. I am going to take my gloves off. We're gonna hit this with our heat gun. Pop some bubbles. Oh, I see a Skippy. Let's don't have that. All right, pop bubbles. Keep that heat gun moving. You don't want to stop and hone in. You want to keep moving, keep moving. Probably Julie. Steve's a lawyer. He could bail us out. We going to jail. All right. I feel like it's missing something, y'all. Help me out. I mean, it's cute. I wish I hadn't done the green on the top, but it's cute. But I feel like we need something. Let me look. You know what? What if we filled the top with beads? Not beads, but bubbles to like distract. I don't really have the right bead colors. What color beads would we use? If we use beads, what color beads? I'm thinking about adding bubbles. Oh, banner. Yeah, it's too late for a banner. We have.
Do you have any maroon beads?
I don't have red. I don't have maroon. I'm thinking about just adding some bubbles at the top. It's probably the best bet since we're already full of resin. Let me see where my bubbling is. Hang on, y'all. I'm scrounging. I know I got some bubbles up in here. Y'all saw this mess? You would wonder how I got anything done. Don't tell me I don't have bubbles. Oh, there's some. Unless y'all have a bright, oh, thank you. See, my brain hurts. Okay, let's see. I think if I did it again, I would paint it like the color of your team. Like I would paint it maroon and then add white beads over the top. So that would be like your team colors. That's what I would do if I had thought about it, but I don't have any maroon beads and I don't have gray either. So we're just gonna go with bubbles. Let's see. There's our people. They're clear. clear people. It's an audience of clear people. Let's get some more. Yeah, don't do what I did. Paint it your team color. I don't know what was going on in my head. Well, yeah, I kind of do, but
They're AI generated.
yeah, that's right. These are AI people. Add a little bubble here and there. It just needed something, and this might have been right, might have been wrong, but it does give it a little bit of a people-y look, don't it? Say yes, Julie. We'll add a few people here, and then we'll stop. You see people? Do y'all see people? All right. Now, I think what we can do, since we added so many, is we can use some of that resin over the top to make sure our people don't get thrown around. We can't have them. All right, I'm gonna use my Nacky. So we can drizzle over the top to secure our people into the stadium. It's kind of like having a seat belt. That is how you control the audience, isn't it? Especially when they're selling beer in the stadium. You just glue them to your seats. All right, I think that's good. That's not terrible. It's way better than I expected. Aw. The bubbles do look like people, don't they? It's so much better. That's the people you see when you drink Joyce's margaritas. Oh, I'm sorry. If you get art resin on your skin, you can use an alcohol wipe or just soap and water. Don't let it dry on your skin, obviously. But just you can use soap and water, or you can use alcohol wipes. I have these. And I have a little bit on my finger and some on my table. So I'm going to use an alcohol wipe to clean off my finger and the drippies on my table. So there we go. What do you guys think? Okay, now I'm going to remind you, if you do this project at home, do the top half in your team colors. And then you could add the clear beads over the top of your team colors, or you could add like white beads over the top, or just if your team colors are orange and white, put orange and white beads up there. If your team colors are whatever they are, just add that to the top instead of what I did. I wasn't thinking. Y'all know I'm having issues today. I got more issues than National Geographic today.